Spark a conversation, verbal elation, stimulation, education. This is Menage with the Mary Jane Maven. When we on the air, it's always a lituation. Might talk about some litigation, might talk about some immigration, might talk about some politics, but never talking nonsense. Yes, we on in the slide. Watch and listen, it's a vibe. Watch it while you getting high, or you can listen while you drive. Just don't forget to subscribe.
Roll up. Trying to get high.
Shout out to them. Shout out to the young man who, was being he's being passive aggressive. I know was being a smart ass, but then also, was cool. So that's my experience when I created First App. Then after that, we started, visiting what I call farmers markets. We don't really have too many of them anymore in the city of trees.
Yeah.
I know. I miss Chapo. I miss you guys. What I heard, maybe you could be hearing this right now, but you may be, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to manifest it. But I heard that their farmers markets ended because they got snitched on and shut down. If somebody did, you're a bitch for snitching, because they had the best farmers markets. I could get tacos from one of their moms. I could go get my everything, mushrooms,
everything.
Yeah. So
you can even make a friend.
Yeah, a few. Like they were like, you're part of the family. So they were an unofficial kind of sponsor of the podcast. If you just heard, Hubby even made a little sound effect for him. But they were good. But we went to farmers markets and we used to go to if you guys know about and that's where I got my husband to take his first dab. And we were drinking we went in there and got a drink. The lean kind of drinks. We got that.
Yeah. Oh, I miss those.
Oh my gosh. So much.
Like we get the drink and then go out, so we had that sipping to go to the resort.
And walk around. And especially at one point you could go there for a couple hours.
Remember they would play movies and stuff.
Yes, go to room to room. I mean, shit, we went to a birthday party for the owner's wife. And hella food and hella just different people that would be at the session. I mean, be at the farmers markets. I don't like to say sessions. Or a hot second before that. Yeah. But he felt comfortable. I was like, babe, try this out. And then, do you remember the name of the guys we used to get from?
That one?
Yeah, the one we used to get the. Shout out to the cultivators being little bits of salesmen, because they noticed that I was trying to get hubby to take one with me, and they kind of talked him into it. Like, oh, you know what? You can spread. What do you smoke blunts? You don't have to dab. Like, you don't have to take it out of a dab rig. You can smooth it on your blunt. And he was like, that's all you needed to say. And then he was hooked. So we had to find out what he liked and what he didn't like. And as someone that is a dabber, I definitely want to use your expertise at this point to kind of explain the difference between shatter, wax. Now we have diamonds, sugar.
Yeah, sugar.
Yeah. So what do you prefer?
Oh, I prefer rosin or diamonds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is rosin the dark one?
No, the rosins are like the lighter ones that almost look like kind of like putty. Okay. They almost look like putty, but they're basically they're almost like they're like the ice water. So a lot of the times what they do is they do the ice water extract, and so they're just taking the hash and they're pressing it with heat, and the heat is essentially what's extracting it, and so you have a really clean extraction. So there's no butane, there's none of that in it, and it really
I promise you guys education every episode. Here you go, listen up. She explains it way better than I could.
They actually are able to conserve the most terpenes and I just feel like you get the best high, you get the best flavor. It's just all around the most amazing. But I would say,
as it continues to elevate as it continues to go in its evolution process, I think we just knew about wax back in the day, and I'm sure the THC content was low. Probably there were a lot of people who were processing it kind of shitty. And we only had what was more of a health hazard as far as the processing of it back then. Now you have these innovators that, you have the ice, like you said, the ice bath and and things like that they're finding out ways to preserve more of the wellness and the great thing from the plant. So
Yeah, I always liked the one that was like really dark. I guess it wasn't the best way to make it, but it still got me the highest.
The hash?
Yeah.
Because I know hash is really dark.
It's like dark brown, tar like
It was,
really like sticky.
yeah, it was just more of the wax, like the back, like I said,
Yeah.
you know, things last time it was big, you know, before the pandemic. This was before.
Yeah.
So, then after that, you know, we started going.
Static nails, the next generation of nail.
Yeah. So he liked more of the more of what was just considered wax.
Okay. Yes.
It,
just
you know,
concentrate.
Yeah. It was easy to spread on the, you know, on the Swisher, or the show, you know, because we love shows now, to spread on there. Or when I did get a nectar collector, you could still hit it. Although I think it definitely made the nectar collector, it made the quality of it a little lacking because you have to clean it out and shit like that. I broke a glass one, then I went over to the silicone one, and I was like, okay, let me just go ahead and get a regular rig. But I kind of want one that's electric. But I keep hearing different things. What do you think? What do you like to utilize best? Just a traditional dab rig?
Yeah, honestly, like I am someone who is so clumsy. I've broken like probably 5 dab rigs, so I've now I stick with the silicone one. So I'm like, okay, I'm safe with it. I can travel with it too. So yeah, I'm just super old school, like silicone rig with a titanium nail. But now they're into like this banger, so they have like the quartz and all of that, which that's like really nice. But like, I don't know. To me, it's like it's a process because like you got to clean it with the alcohol. You got to Q-tip swab it. It's a lot. Yeah,
because you can't just after you clean it with the alcohol then go ahead and light it up.
No,
you guys don't know yet. It's not very healthy for you to go ahead and ingest, you know, the particles that would be left behind from the alcohol. So it is a process. I also feel that it's more of a fad within the industry.
I think it's like who has the biggest melt shot and who can make it look the prettiest type of thing.
Yeah. And then for people to go, oh, I have that. You know, it's everybody likes to be included. And I know that it was definitely a different part of the cannabis community at one point in time. Because people kind of like how vegetarians and vegans are, you know, people, I only dab. And it's like, oh my good Lord. We get it, you know. But because
that was me at one point.
And you know, I was definitely the same way at some point. Like, oh my gosh, I only do this brand, you know.
Exactly.
You know, when I did vape, it was probably because it was a company that I represented, but I was like, only Dom Pen. I don't do anything else, you know. So we all tend to get, you know, a little snooty about what we do, but I think that now because the different sectors of the community they're starting to intersect. You know, there's definitely more people that are flower, but they also will dab. I will tell you that the community that I'm most surprised by is the older community that lives in Placerville. I do education at a dispensary there. Shout out to Chuck's Wellness. I love them. And a lot of the community there are a little older. You know, you want to think of the makeup of who lives in Placerville. Let me tell you, those older people fucking dab out there. Okay, they know about the concentrate. Oh,
that's crazy.
Okay? The first time that I realized it, I was like, what is it? And somebody that works there, she kind of made a joke. She goes, well, you got to realize it and look at it like this. They're the old meth heads and the old crankers. I was like,
that's so true. So, they familiar with the torch.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, that's comfortable to them. But it's really, really funny. I met a lady one day and we ended up talking and she kept trying to buy me like 2 grams of wax. She's like, no, just let me buy. And I said, no, what I do is because I'm passionate about it. And she's like, which car is yours? You know, because she thought I was trying to say it, you know, like I can't take it because of my work. And she goes, which car is yours? I'm going to buy it and I'm going to put it underneath your tire. I was like, no, I really, honestly, it's okay. You know, and I should have let her because she was buying some like $75.
No, you should have let her. Hell yeah.
Woo. I should have. My husband goes, don't you, what is wrong with you? You don't ever come down. But yeah, so I think that because there is a larger market of people that are becoming more educated and they do what they're familiar with. And like I said, that community is familiar with, you know, concentrate. So it's interesting to find out how brands have to pivot, you know, how, you know, cultivators of the product that how they have to change and they have to become more of a traditional business where you start having target audiences that you have to create your brands for. So
that's true.
That's part of what I love about being in this industry and being an entrepreneur and somebody who is have a brand development experience because I'm able to kind of see, step back and see that. If anybody has been a long-term fan, mark my words, I said that the next 3 to 5 years, and this was 2 years ago, that edibles and drinks were going to become huge. And if
Yeah.
you guys have been to a dispensary, okay, a good portion of their inventory is definitely focused. I mean, there's seltzers now. I don't know who told Pabst Blue Ribbon to make one because nobody likes PBR regularly, but
Thank you.
they have one. I would recommend something like Tonic, Uncle Arnie's, Good Stuff brand, all because I do educate for them, so I know that they're good. But I would recommend more like that. I think people hear seltzers, and a lot of times they're like, I'm not a White Claw drinker, or and it's like, no, okay, it's along the same line, but it's not that. It's a different way for people to receive, their medication or to receive their elevation. A lot of those products can be microdosed as well, so I'm all for it. But I said that it was going to be a huge industry, and it is. And it's also providing a way for a lot of people that have been disenfranchised from, weed for so long, Black and brown people. It's another way for us to get into the industry and become entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
So keep your eye out there. There's some really good brands coming out and lines that are coming out that are women owned, and they're owned by a woman of color. So I love that as well. But so I'll probably have you back on to even just dig into your expertise about dabbing some more. Because, I definitely want to introduce it to women that, like you said, you got into it with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Most women, I think they will get into concentrates and waxes because of the man in their life.
Yeah.
I don't see too many women going into the dispensary. Let's say they're going on a girls' weekend. They're like, let's get 3 grams of the shatter. And then it's usually edibles and maybe some pre-rolls. So, hold on. Heard you now. All right, guys. And I waited. Look, I have the doobies broken up. So I'm gonna tell you guys now, if you guys don't keep a doobie jar, please start doing that, because in the times when this happens, and if you guys can see that's empty, you can go ahead and grab that doobie jar and bust them open. And it's not the best tasting, but it'll do the trick. So now I don't have to do that. So I'm sure you guys have been well into the spark and salutations. We're going to keep that going. So the, we talked a little bit about what we like right now, what's going on. I'm going to show you guys the strains that I really love right now. I've talked about this brand before, Eighth Brothers. Look, guys, very, very, very economical. Okay. You can call it just weed. That's where it's starting to go. Like people go, just weed, middle shelf, top. This is middle shelf. I'd say top tier of the middle shelf, but you can pay $10 per eighth, depending on which dispensary or delivery service you're getting from. Shit's fire. Okay. They have a really, really good strain called Honeydew. A good sativa. It's really good. Very, very good. So that's going to be the strain that I'm kind of smoking on right now that I really like. I also want to give a shout out to a new strain, a couple of new strains, but a new brand here in City of Trees. Sattva, Sattva. Please excuse me if I am not pronouncing that correctly, but it is a connoisseur grade indoor flower. Let me tell you how great it is to be in the industry. I was working a 420 event, and the gentleman was right next to me, who is the owner, Thunder everything of this. He tested everything out. He came up with the strains. He's a cultivator as well. But he came over and introduced himself. And then I look back later and I'm like, why is he underneath my table? Because he was taking like 5 grams. I'm just sliding them into my box. And he's like, try that out. I was like, I will.
Hell yeah.
And fire. So I will say the Sherb Scotty, which is a hybrid, fucking fire. I do know that he's at Dixon Wellness, which if you guys are familiar with the area, that's just right across the causeway. And I know a couple other of, I think he's at Aptane Wellness or Two Rivers. I'll put it in the show notes and let you guys know, or if you guys want to know more about it. But definitely follow him, follow the brand on social media. It's just at SATTVA cannabis. Really fucking good, guys. And good price. Good price. Dixon Wellness can be a little bit like that. Sometimes I'm gonna go, what y'all selling? Like, is this like why is, let's say Dime Bag. Why is Dime Bag going for $35 an eighth? Some Dime Bag does, but that was the first brand that popped into mind. So no shade, Dime Bag. But this is a very, I think it's a good price for the quality that you get.
Yeah.
I was lit. And hubby, I mean, I had to hide the jars from him so that he didn't smoke them all before, we weren't smoking 420 high. Because you can't really do a review when you're 420 high. So I, tried to put it aside so that I could do my review properly. But great terps, guys. You can tell that there's a lot of care going into the cultivation of the flowers. So check them out. The other brand that I wanted to talk about is a brand new, it's coming out. They should start being in storefronts and available for you guys to purchase. I'd say by summer. I'm actually meeting with she's one of 3 owners, but she's the face of the brand. 22-year-old young woman who was on a soccer scholarship, got hurt. And when you're a college student and you get hurt and they don't see any need for you, guess what? Scholarship gone. So she was very injured on a lot of big pharma, a lot of pills, prescription pills, and was kind of depressed because her whole identity was soccer. I mean, if you're well enough to get a scholarship to college, that means you fucking played. And if you guys know Northern Cali, especially in the City of Trees, soccer's huge. And so she just kind of felt lost and was just kind of doing kind of bad, taking a lot of pills. Yeah. She's going to be a guest on one, tell her own story, but taking a lot of pills, drinking, just not living right. And was always told how bad cannabis was. And she went ahead on her own as a grown-ass adult, as she should. And she started, looking into cannabis instead of big pharma. And she was the young lady that I was just talking about who says that she smokes about 10 grams a day.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, yeah, and she dabs. Little cute little thing. But she's coming out with a brand that they are going to be, and let me tell you now, no joke, not because I hit it off with her, but fucking great diamond infused pre-rolls that are going to be 1.5 grams, not the traditional 1.2,
okay,
not maybe the 1.3, and you're not going to be paying like 40 freaking bucks, very good pre-rolls. I stumbled upon this whole situation by going to one of the gentlemen's clubs a couple weeks ago here in City of Trees. And and she is starting this and it's so good. She is the only one that tests her products. I told her, you have somebody else to do that. But I walked away from their 420 event with about 10 pre-rolls.
Wow.
And me and hubby killed that. Okay. Let me tell you, I just saw a container in my purse and I was getting so excited because I thought maybe I'd slip one in there and forgot about it. No, just left the container in there because they're very good containers. They also use Bovedas.
Ooh.
Yes. You don't see that a lot
I was
anymore.
gonna say you don't see that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder why. I mean, I know that packaging has gotten a little bit better and I think some people are trying to, keep a budget. And so maybe they move that to the wayside, but hey, I love those. They are good. We have to keep remembering that cannabis is a plant. And so it always still continues to need, the airflow and, to be able to keep fresh. I know if you guys have ever opened weed and you can crumble it you don't need a grinder at all. It's not how the plant's supposed to be. If you bought your girl some roses and you walk by the roses and then, a leaf just fell off and crumbled, you will know that it's time to either hang those bad boys upside down to save them or throw that shit away. So same thing, it's a plant, it's a flower. You got to treat it that way. So I foresee that some brands will probably get back into it if there, is a cheaper version that they could go for, but it has to be the same quality. Then, I highly recommend to brands that you guys start looking and putting those back into your packages. Just a Mary Jane moment, just a thought. I'm, like I said, almost a genius. So, like I said, diamonds, you guys make sure that you keep an eye out for them. super, super excited. I feel so grateful to have met Taylor, and I'll be telling you guys more about it as it continues to move along in their journey. And of course, she will be on a Pussy Power episode that's going to be coming up in the next couple of months as well. So shout out to what we're smoking on, how we smoke it, and the up and coming brands, especially ones that are women owned and created. I'm your biggest supporter, but it has to be a good product. So I cannot wait to yay the weed's here.
Woo!
All right. Oh, super duper. I'm gonna roll up there, and as I'm rolling up, we are going to talk about the more you know. You guys know I love to educate. My whole mission, my tagline is educate, eradicate, and elevate. And I want to give a special shout out to Forbes, the huge, the one that tells you that Kylie Jenner is way, way richer than the rest of us. Rihanna, way, way richer than we'll ever be. But the same, I want to say business publication or entity that kind of keeps its eye on business and stuff like that. But they always put out their top earners, based on the industry. Maybe they say tech, maybe they say electronics, they may do in, the world of Hollywood. But for the very first time ever on 420, they released their very first and prestigious as well, cannabis list, 42 best entrepreneurs building the industry and the best cannabis brands. So I think that's awesome. Shout out to them. All kind of snaps. And what I love about it, we've been talking for a while already. I don't want to have you guys listening in. Well, probably listen in pieces anyway because I talk a lot. But the hubby is putting the visual on the screen now, so when you guys watch the video, you'll be able to see it. It's a gentleman and kind of introducing why they decided to do this list, and I want to say this is a very huge win because once the industry starts to be normalized as a business sector and as something that adds to the economy in this country, that's when it will be normalized enough.
Yeah.
That's when you'll stop having pushback. That's when the government will probably jump on board, even though they've known for centuries, since they're the ones that lied about it, that it's a great thing. Yeah. There are a good amount of equity type of brands, businesses, and entrepreneurs, and very diverse within the people of color. So I do want to shout them out. Forbes, I think this is an awesome thing. I think you're setting the standards for other publications and entities like yourself to start recognizing the entrepreneurs that are really changing wellness, the quality of lives of others, and more importantly, like I said, a bit ago, allowing us to take control of our health. And this is just the first kind of steps that we need. So shout out to Forbes. You guys definitely check that out. We will have the link to it in the show notes, but ask Auntie Google. Just say Forbes cannabis list and it'll pop right up. So yeah, shout out to them. So moving on, I'm trying to make sure that we stay streamlined here. I'm not reading some of the notes and things that I put down for some of this, but our next segment is going to be our Say Aloud for the people in the back. So this is where you're going to get to promote yourself, talk about something that's going on great within either your cannabis-based lifestyle, whether that be your business-wise, whether it be personally, whether it's something that you heard from somebody else. Maybe you went to Soul Bloom this weekend. We had a great concert here. My girl, Janae Aoka, was here. All I wanted to do was hear her sing, "I'm Trying to Smoke." Maybe you got your nails done and you like the color. I don't care what it is, but this is going to be your time to just go ahead and shout it out, say it louder for the people in the back. And once our guest co-host has shared hers, I do have a very special announcement for you guys. But my guest co-host has the floor now. Go right ahead, share a little something. Say it loud for the people in the back.
Thank you. I would say I just started my YouTube channel, so that's something that I've been working on. but I'm just kind of trying to promote myself that way. And it's going to be like all graffiti based. So I made an intro video already, but yeah, it's just kind of like fun testing out products, like unboxings, behind the scenes.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's going to be super fun.
Well, you definitely let me know so I can subscribe and follow, and I will share that as well.
Thank you.
And you know, I have some resources to help you out. I do everything on my own. So you're creating videos or you're creating content, use Canva. Okay.
Yeah.
Create your own logos, and you can do everything for your YouTube channel. You can create thumbnails, you can create your
Yeah.
logo. I mean, I'm actually your content that I asked you for the picture for. Open in my Canva
Oh,
right now. I'm almost done with
yeah.
that. So it's a great platform, and then you can collaborate. So being that I'm on there, we
Okay.
can share stuff, we can collaborate, we can be part of each other's
Oh,
teams and things
that's
like
so
that.
cool.
Yeah, so Canva's good. And because you will be a content creator, you know,
Yeah.
you can grab the YouTuber title, but you know,
Yeah.
content creator. There's other platforms that can help you to expand your audience and things like that as
Oh,
well.
okay.
You know, how to use the analytics from YouTube as well. So
Yeah.
I know a little bit, but I'll ask hubby to, you know, share some of the tidbits and things like that, so that you can start to understand, you know, what you
Yeah.
need to do.
Thank you.
But congratulations on that. So you guys be aware, be on point, and you know, if you forget, hit me up. Be like, what was her YouTube channel? I've been looking, I can't find it. You know, Sacramento Gang Archives. Shout out to one of my favorite content creators. He keeps coming up because he's on fire. No, if you guys don't know about SGA, Sacramento Gang Archives, please go like, subscribe, follow on all platforms, but especially his YouTube channel. Shout out to him. I'm gonna have to send him this little link. He's like, whenever you talk about me, send me the link. So the announcement that I have for you guys is those of you that have gone through this journey of being the Mary Jane Maven with me, going from just being an educator to wanting to help women of color, to wanting to help women, you know, along their journeys of discovering, defining, and determining their passion and purpose. My journey has changed. I've been blessed with the universe going, all right, girl, you realize now you don't have control. We're working together. This is the shit that I have planned for you. I will tell you guys, when you let go, when you let the control go, and when you let, you know, you get in this mindset of thinking it's my life, I know me best, I know what's best. You don't. There are always signs from the universe out there that are telling you and pointing you in the direction of what your passion and your purpose is. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Everything that we are to be is already predetermined. You know, we are, you know, little pieces of energy that make up this entire universe, and we all have a purpose. And so my journey has evolved, and it continues to evolve. And one of the goals that I set for myself was collaboration with other podcasts. But from that, having the opportunity to start doing collaborations has led me into being a featured and expert speaker. I started with the Women in Cannabis Expo in September of last year, which I will be speaking at 2 dates later this year. But it's also led me into being noticed as being a featured expert. And I have been added and invited to be a panelist and a featured expert at this year's G4 Live Expo and Bud Tender Awards that are taking place in Sin City in Las Vegas, May 12th through the 15th.
Congrats.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'm very, very proud because I am actually going to be on a panel with Roz McCarthy, and she's just one example, but women that they don't know it, but they have been an inspiration and a resource for me ever since I started on this journey of creating my brand and becoming the Mary Jane Maven. So I'm super, super excited. I'm going to try not to cry when I meet some of them, but I'm very excited that I'm going to be within good company. I am definitely going to smoke with Snoop because he is DJing. That's what hubby was waiting on. I speak things into existence. So, you know, Auntie Snoop, be ready for me. He is DJing along with Travis Barker. They're having a huge after party and event on the 14th. And so I will be getting as close as I can. You know, I have pretty good luck. Met Eminem twice. took shots with Elon Musk. I don't know. Sometimes it just happens. So I'm going to be prepared. I may actually take a backwood because he looks like he's a backwood smoker. So I
Yeah.
may take a couple of those pre-rolls and, wave it at him or get his attention. But like I said, if you guys happen to have plans to be in Vegas, come on out. G4 Live Expo. I believe they do still have expo tickets available. And yeah, you're going to see me out and about. My very first time going to Vegas without the hubby. No, where did I go before without you? Oh, I lied. You're right. But I wasn't really without you because you ended up showing up 2 hours later.
Allegedly, it was not 2 hours. Okay.
So that's right. I flew into Vegas at like 6 o'clock in the morning by myself. He was there by like 1:30 in the morning because he drove out. So, but only third time in our 20-year relationship that I am traveling and will be without him. So I'm a little like, because that's my best friend.
Yeah.
So yeah. So if you guys see me out and about, if you're gonna be there, hit your girl up. I like mostly everybody, so you'll probably get a reply. Yes, so I'm very, very, very proud of that accomplishment. You will see more, and that is my goal for the rest of the year is to continue creating content, educating, and being that featured expert speaker, all about the plant that I love. That power flower, which is sativa. So
welcome to Menage with the Mary Jane Maven podcast with your host, the Mary Jane Maven. I am the producer, the hubby. Follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Show us some love and click that subscribe button now. Don't forget to click the bell so you get notifications and click the like button on the videos.
And now, your host.